I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. This from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's good, Shellitronnn here, but you can call me Shells, and I'm back at again with a brand new video, and I had to bring the shots back because the Carolina Panthers are in a conundrum, and this is no kind of mystery or anything. This is not something you have to really think about, like what's happening, what's the conundrum, what's the big question the Panthers have to answer. We all understand what it is, but this tweet from Adam Schefter may have just possibly moved up the timeline for the Panthers to have to answer this question. The tweet from right here, man, it says, Panthers QB Cam Newton's foot injury has healed well and is expected to be ready to practice after the team's bye this week, per league source. Panthers have said they will make a QB determination when Newton is healthy. That looks to be coming soon. Now, he is right about that. Coach Ron Rivera at a recent presser said that he will not make any sort of decision. He will not entertain any kind of questions. He will not talk about who's the quarterback of the future for the Panthers until they actually have to answer that question, no matter if it's Kyle Allen or Cam Newton. And we know what Kyle Allen has done. The man is 5-0 in his first 5 starts in his NFL career. He's the first quarterback to go undrafted and to have 5 straight games starting, winning with no interceptions. So there is a bit of history there with Kyle Allen, and he's been looking pretty good. Like I said, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's only averaging about 225 yards a game in passing yards, which ranks him 25th in the league so far. But you can adjust that to 22nd because Cam, Eli, and I think Sam Darnold are all 3 above him, and none of those 3 guys have played more than, 3 games this season. So just talking about quarterbacks who played at least 4 games this season, he's 22nd in yards per game passing, which isn't great. We know that Kyle Allen is basically as good of a game manager as you want. He is the perfect backup kind of guy you want on your team. Because what is a backup supposed to do? They come in and keep the ship afloat while your starting quarterback, presumably your franchise quarterback, is rehabbing, is recovering. And until he can come back in, the backup's supposed to keep the team solid, keep the team moving. Look, we know that this man, Kyle Allen, has not lost a game yet, but it would be very, very foolish for anyone, Panthers fan or not, to make the assumption or make the leap to say that Kyle Allen is the reason the Panthers have not lost a game yet. Let's be real here. All 4 of the games the Panthers have won this season can be attributed to 1 or 2 or even both of these next 2 things. Christian McCaffrey and this Carolina Panthers defense. A defense that is number 1 in sacks and number 2 in interceptions. And pointing that out doesn't mean I'm trying to put shade on Kyle Allen. I respect Kyle Allen. He is looking a lot better than I expected. I won't lie to you, all during the preseason and before the season started, right at the beginning of the season, I thought we made a mistake by not keeping Taylor Heineke, our other backup, and keeping Kyle Allen, who I thought did not look good in the preseason and who I thought played against a very, very weak, unenthusiastic Saints team, week 17 of last year. But so far, he's been the quintessential backup guy. But the tweet says that Cam should be ready to practice again coming up the week after our bye this week. So let's go over a few facts here. Cam Newton suffered a Liz Frank injury in the 3rd game of the preseason against the Patriots. A Liz Frank injury without surgery takes about 6 to 8 weeks to recover. Now it's 6 to 8 weeks, but we do know that Cam Newton played on that injured foot for another 3 weeks after that. Well, we didn't play in the 4th preseason game, but he played in the 1st game against the Rams and the 2nd game against the Bucks, and he re-aggravated that foot. And it's actually kind of hard to say whether he re-aggravated or not, because in a YouTube video he posted, he talked about it wasn't re-aggravated, it was always hurt. There was no point between when he hurt it in week 3 of the preseason and week 2 of the regular season against the Bucks, where it was not hurting, where he was not in pain, where he did not feel that there was some discomfort there. He admitted he could barely jog around the field during the pre-games, so it's no stretch of the imagination to envision a scenario where this man actually was continually re-hurting that foot. So if we extend that 6 to 8 week range to extend, right after that Bucks game, 6 to 8 weeks fits somewhere around not the week of the Niners game, but somewhere around the Packers game, possibly the Falcons game on the 17th of November. And even if we are going to accept that the week of the Niners game is his first week coming back to practice, that does not mean that Cam is going to be game ready. The man's been out for about a month and a half. He has not been doing heavy cardio. The man has not been putting weight on his foot, except for the last, maybe a few days when he was seen at practice, but not really practicing. I think it was just last Monday before the London game this past Sunday. I do not believe this man's going to be ready to go by the Niners game by any stretch, by the Titans game on the 3rd, the week after that, and I'm not sure if bringing him back for an away game against the Packers in the middle of November is the best move for Cam Newton coming off of injury. I think that the team will probably stick with Kyle Allen even if Cam says he's healthy and good to go up until the 17th of November, which is the Falcons game. Now, I have mentioned this already in a different video, but with this new news that he's actually going to be coming back sooner than I expected, I think it's really important to bring these things back up because as a backup, Kyle Allen's looked good, and there have been questions, not just from random people on Twitter or commenters or whatever. We've seen people who have television shows, writers, bloggers, these other people start to question whether Kyle Allen might be the next franchise quarterback for the Panthers. And let me just say this real quickly. You're doing a great job. That is prime television because these guys, they have no doubt in their mind that Kyle Allen is not as good as Cam. They just know that saying those things will bring them ratings, and I 100% commend them for that. Bring those eyes and those clicks to your videos and your clips because that is what you're getting paid for. Not a single one of these guys talking on radio, TV, writing, they do not believe that Kyle Allen is a better quarterback than a healthy Cam Newton, but we do have to also acknowledge that we don't know exactly how healthy of a Cam Newton we will be getting. Like I said, a Liz Frank injury, you can recover from it in 6 to 8 weeks. But let's not get too confused here and think that Cam Newton will automatically come back first game of the year 100%. A Liz Frank injury in some cases, and I would say a lot of cases, can be career ending. And early on in the process this year, Cam had a brand new throwing motion, and I don't know how much he's been throwing since he's been injured. Has he been throwing this whole time he's been gone? And even if he has been throwing, just how good of quality are those reps since they're probably going to be stationary and he's probably not putting very much pressure on his feet at all when he's going through those throws. He's not doing any dropbacks. I mean, he's not really going off the run or anything. So I'm not really sure what exactly we'll see from Cam once he comes back. So those are really big questions you have to ask. And I understand that even though there are some people maybe saying that Kyle Allen could be a better quarterback than Cam, you have to also throw in the notion, you got to acknowledge here that we aren't 100% sure what Cam Newton will show up when he comes back. And there is a possibility that he has one bad game coming back and the book will be written on him immediately. Immediately. There are some decisions to make in Carolina between Kyle Allen and Cam Newton for the rest of the year. Because like I mentioned, that Niners game is going to be tough. The Titans game, we just saw Marcus Mariota get benched in a game where the Titans were, They were 2-3 going up against a 1-4 Broncos team. They got beat to sleep. Marcus Mariota got benched in that game. They got shut out. That's former second overall pick Marcus Mariota there. I don't want to even think about it because it might be Ryan Tannehill starting that game. So who knows? Then it's the Packers at Packers in November. We know how that goes. But after that, it's a really good stretch of easy games. It's Falcons at home. Falcons are garbage. There's Saints away at Saints. That's going to be a hard game. Then it's Redskins who are garbage, who almost got beat by the Dolphins. And then it's Falcons again. If the team goes 1-2 in those first 3 games with Kyle Allen, there's no reason to believe that with this defense and Christian McCaffrey, we couldn't go on a 3-1 stretch to even that out a little bit. This is going to be a very, very tough decision. And I don't mean that because of the talent of the 2 quarterbacks in question. I mean, the team might be able to get by with just Kyle Allen. And honestly, I even asked the question before the season started about whether or not Cam should even play a single game this year. Maybe the best solution here would be to see what Kyle Allen can do and possibly let Cam come back next year when he's 100% guaranteed to be 100% healthy a full year removed from that Liz Frank, a full year removed from his latest shoulder surgery, and he can come back in the last year of his contract and prove something to the fans and to the people who aren't necessarily fans of Cam Newton, whether they're fans of other teams or even fans of the Panthers who do not like Cam Newton. And you guys know there are a lot of Panthers fans who are not fans of Cam Newton. So there are some questions, both valid and not very valid, and you can make arguments for both sides, whether you like Cam a lot, don't like Cam a lot, or if you like Kyle Allen, or even if you don't like Kyle Allen. There are very good arguments for both sides of this decision, and it's going to be a very, very hard franchise-defining decision that they're going to have to make maybe sooner than we thought would be coming. There is a possibility that picking one quarterback over the other at the wrong time could spell trouble for the franchise, trouble for one of the quarterbacks, and maybe the departure of either one of these guys, and we could see either one of these guys leave and do really well somewhere else. I've heard bears for the Cam. Look, I would hate to trade Cam. I'm the last person who wants to trade Cam. But imagine Khalil Mack on the team. If the Bears want to get rid of Khalil Mack, it's a tough one. But that's a whole different video for a whole different day, a completely different topic. Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, the Carolina Panthers have a very, very big decision to make. And we understand that no matter who is the quarterback of this team, doesn't really matter until the playoffs, because the way this defense is playing and the way Christian McCaffrey is just being a beast in every game except for Bucs games, which we are now finally free of, this team may not need either quarterback to be a hero until the playoffs. You never know. Team is 4-2 right now. It could easily be 9-4 by week 15 with the Seahawks, Colts, and Saints as the last three teams on our schedule. 2 of those being home games. You never know. There might be the situation where Cam doesn't come back until the playoffs. Like a Peyton Manning in 2015 sort of situation where Brock Osweiler took the Broncos the last leg of the season, and then they brought back Peyton Manning with an amazing defense. We could see that exact same thing happening here with the Panthers this year. Broncos won that Super Bowl against the Panthers, so we could see a very, very similar situation there. But sooner or later, there will have to be a decision made. Like I mentioned, a franchise-defining decision. Who knows? That's all I got for you though, man. What are your thoughts? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.